Hey, Chillie Falls here with Chillie Chats. And we have a very special guest this morning. It's this morning for me, it's not for her because she's coming to us from Australia. Christy Smith. It doesn't work. Christy Smith. We'll
Yay.
call her Christy Smith. We'll call her Christy. Just plain old Christy. How's that? I first met Christy online with our friend Emma Latisse on Cruising Isn't Just for Old People. And I'm fascinated with something she's involved with, especially at my age and looking at retirement. We've been trying to get together to do this for some time, and we finally got it today. So welcome, Christy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's get right to it. You are getting ready to go on a cruise ship permanently to live.
Permanent. Yes.
Okay. How did you get started on that? Do you have a background with cruising or working on cruise lines, or just I'll throw it to you and let you talk.
Okay. Well, about 20 odd years ago, I worked on a cruise ship and I started on the QE2, which was a beautiful experience. She's an amazing ship. And then I went across to a P&O ship for about another 9 to 10 months. So I spent about a year at sea, and, you know, in your 20s as a crew member, it's good fun, good times, good memories, the things that you can remember, of course, because there was a few times that you can't remember what was going on. And I explored the world. I saw a lot of the world, and I was lucky that I was on a smaller ship and we got to see some amazing itineraries. We never did the same thing twice. We always ventured and did new things all the time. So for me, that was a life changer. I got out there and I saw a lot of the world. And when I got home, I was mid-20s. I got home and I had all these stories to tell. And, you know, people that had been home for the last year were just telling the same old stories. So I was hooked from then. So ever since then, I've been a passenger on many cruise ships. I've done probably 15 to 20 cruises as a passenger in that time, in the past 20 years. And I've always enjoyed being at sea. I just find a real calmness being at sea. And I love waking up to a new destination every day. Who doesn't love that? It's fascinating.
Well, obviously, I'm a big cruise fan too. I've done 18. And,
Whoa, very
we'll be
good.
going on, hopefully going on one this fall if I can get my ducks in a row. But yeah, I love it too. So,
yeah.
All right. So how did you get started with this a permanent living arrangement on a cruise ship?
Well, it's always been my dream to retire on a cruise ship, and I was marking some things off a bucket list last year, and this sort of come across my path, and I thought I really need to look into this a little further. And I got onto Google, as you do, to find all the answers to all of the world's dilemmas. You get onto Google and Google has the answer, and up popped this opportunity. And so I got in contact with the owners of this company and chatted away. And funny enough, there was 2 Australian guys, so we got on like a house on fire. And yeah, so I ended up getting very excited about it and putting a deposit down pretty much a week later.
And when will you actually be moving to the ship?
Setting sail. Sail date is June 2020. That's the anticipated date. And that's if the ship has to go into refit for 6 months. So that's if all goes to plan. It should go in January next year, and it should be out by June, end of June.
And what's the plan on how many people on the ship?
There is just over 600 cabins, so you're looking at about 1,200 people on board. That's not including crew, of course. That's just residents. And I like the word residents. I don't like passengers.
Is this a thing where the residents are mostly married couples, or not necessarily married, significant other couples?
But there's a bit of a mix, as far as I know, of people that have actually put deposits down already. I've met some people already on holiday. I've met married couples. I've met young families. I've met retirees, and I also know of some younger people in my generation. You know, late 30s, early 40s, that are joining the ship as well.
Huh. It fascinates me because I've been thinking about retirement and maybe going to, I have a dream of going to an island or Belize or, someplace in the Central America, someplace where it's warm year round.
Yeah.
But
why settle for one destination? That's what I always say.
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I find it fascinating. I really do.
Yeah.
So, so everybody will know, Christy made a fabulous video on this whole process, and it even gets into costs and everything. If somebody's really interested in this, down in the description down here of this, when this becomes a video, which will be later on today, there will be a link to Christy's video, and it's, be prepared to spend some time watching it because it covers everything. I mean, it's fabulous. So there'll be a link and you can go to it, and then if you got questions and stuff, I'm sure you can contact Christy. But I'm totally fascinated with this whole process.
Well, it's new and it's different. You know, it's only been done once before, and that was done on the World, and the World is currently still cruising. And they went through a lot of hiccups and problems along the way, and they've fine-tuned it now. It's taken them a few years. So, we're the second generation coming through now with this new concept. So I think the founders have really fine-tuned it and learnt from the mistakes that, the World had made, a few years ago, and hoping not to repeat those mistakes.
Will there, I realize there's an initial investment when you purchase your cabin, or whatever terminology is used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there's got to be some ongoing expense. I mean, the
of course there is.
Got to sail and pay port taxes and
absolutely,
all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So there's an add-on monthly fee that each of the residents pay.
That's right. Yep, depending on the category of cabin that you purchase, but it's as low as US, because we're dealing with US dollars now. It's as low as $70 per person per day.
Okay, that's not
which
bad.
which is quite cheap.
Yeah.
And that includes everything. That includes your housekeeping, that includes your food, your drinks, your internet. They'll have satellite high-speed internet, which is important for people like me because I work online. So I need to make sure that I can still access the internet even while I'm at sea. There's, small excursions, there's laundry, there's all those little bits and incidentals that you need to pay for when you're on land anyway. And all this gets included. There's no gym membership because you can just go upstairs to the gym and do your workout. So there's an expense. You don't have land taxes, and you don't have to pay for your gas and your electricity and your water bills at home because everything is included. So by the time you add everything up, and I don't know how expensive it is over in America, but in Australia, these things are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And, when you add it all up, and when I did the sums, I thought it's costing me more to live in Sydney, although, and Sydney's a beautiful, beautiful place. I was born and raised here. I love it, but it's costing me so much more. And that takes me away from being able to travel and see other destinations because I still have my bills here that I've got to pay. So if I can pay these same bills and possibly even cheaper and live on a cruise ship, and the cruise ship takes me somewhere different every day, it's a no-brainer for me. Yeah. I don't understand why everybody doesn't want to live that way. That for me is bliss. I don't have to tackle airports. I don't have to tackle different hotels, checking in, picking up my luggage and moving to a new destination because tomorrow morning or even the next day, I'm going to be somewhere else, somewhere new, and I've got my home. And the beauty about this concept as well is the guys are really generous, and they've asked people if they wanted to bring something from their home to make the ship feel more homely. And I know that a lady has this massive grand piano. She wants to bring that grand piano with her and put it up in one of the bars so that she knows that she's got a little piece of her home on the ship. And I don't have anything like a piano. I don't think I have anything. I'm just going with a backpack and a bikini. That's what I'm going with.
I'm fascinated that you can still continue on with your life. I mean, do your regular work. I know you work online. I know you do some life coaching and some, you do a lot of aerobics, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff in Christy's life. But you can, I mean, literally continue on earning money while you're doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for someone my age, I'm not ready for retirement just yet, and I don't have the financial capital to be sitting pretty for the rest of my life on a cruise ship. I still need to be able to pay those bills, so I still need to be able to bring an income, and I can do that on the cruise ship. And who doesn't want to follow somebody on a journey on a cruise ship? Every day you're waking up somewhere different, you know.
Christy, that's just fabulous. And what's the date when you're the hope for sale date again?
30th of June, 2020.
So a year from now.
A year from now. Yeah, a year from now.
That would be awesome.
A lot of exciting things happening. And, you know, just recently we all got together in the Philippines, as you know, about a month ago now. And I met with some of the other residents, and we spent 2 weeks together, and it was fabulous. Everyone had the same life goals. Everybody wanted to see the world, and everybody's adventurous, you know, but there's a few other people that were just happy to just stay on the ship and enjoy the comforts of the ship, whereas other people want to get on board and as soon as the ship docks somewhere, they're out of there, you know. The beauty that I like about this ship in particular as well, and sorry for taking over your chat here, but what I really enjoy the most is that the ship will dock for 3 to 5 days in each port. It's not a one-day turnaround like it is on a regular cruise ship full of passengers. So you don't have that mad rush getting back to the ship by 5 p.m. because it's going to set sail. Excuse me. So I like that because I can take my time. I can stay out at night and I can enjoy the locals, and I can, you know, get in a cab and I can venture a little further afield than just the port. You know, I can really get to immerse myself in the culture of what that port has to offer, what that country has to offer. So that's the beauty for me as well. That really piqued my interest when I heard that there was longer stays in port and more opportunity to see more of these places and not just go down to the port and buy something from the little tourist shop and then get back on the ship, you know, which is sometimes is all you can do when you're traveling as a passenger. Unfortunately, you know, unless you're doing a tour with the cruise company, sometimes it's hard to get away from the port to go and do your own thing. So this for me was a no-brainer. I thought, you know, that was the icing on the cake, you know, living at sea, spending all those days in port, and still being able to work and draw an income. That's my life goal. And next year I'm doing it.
That's just fabulous.
Isn't it just?
Christy, I certainly do appreciate this. I'm glad we got all of our technical issues taken care of to get the chat going this morning, or this morning for me. It's night for you. There's 12-hour time difference, folks.
There is a 12-hour time difference. I'm getting ready to go to bed soon.
Yeah, and my day's just starting. But anyway, Christy, thank you so much for being with us, and good luck with all your future endeavors. And boy, we'll certainly be thinking about you this time next year.
I think you will be.
All right. Hey, folks, this is Chillie Falls with Chillie Chats, and hopefully we'll meet on a cruise real soon.